everyone was incredulous. They couldn't believe that we sold our home, our asset, and just packed up the truck and drove down without knowing a single person. We moved to Mexico without knowing anyone, and I had never lived in Mexico, neither did Holly or myself. We just bit the bullet and went for it.
Welcome to the Retirement in Mexico podcast, your guide to a life of sun, sand, and possibility. If you've ever dreamed of spending your golden years under the warm Mexican sun, surrounded by breathtaking beaches, rich culture, and an exciting community, you're in the right place. We're here to guide you every step of the way with expert insights, inspiring stories, and everything you need to know to make your move with confidence. The best chapter of your life is yours to create. Let's do this. Hi, Mario. Hi, Holly. Thank you so very much for joining me today for our podcast.
It is our pleasure. Thank you so much, Taniel, for having us. And we love everything about Mexico. We love everything you're doing. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Taniel.
Well, thank you. So you guys have a very interesting story. You guys have done a lot. I don't know where to start. So let's start from the beginning. So you guys are originally from San Francisco, correct?
That is correct, yeah. We're from San Francisco. Well, Mario actually is from Mexico way back when, but moved to the Bay Area. And that's when we met. We met in the hotel business, working for the Kimpton Hotel Group way back when.
Mexico did not even exist in my repertoire. While I was born in Mexico, I never grew up in Mexico. I was an immigrant. So you're quite right, Taniel. San Francisco, the Bay Area, everything that stands for technology, that was us. Mexico was not even in our horizon.
Okay. So how old were you, Mario, when you moved to the States?
So actually 6 months old. My mother literally wrapped me in a blanket and said, we're moving to Mexico. And then, of course, as an immigrant.
Moving to the U.S.
Moving to the U.S., excuse me, yes. I'm so excited about moving to Mexico. And so we moved to California with all my siblings, our nuclear family, and we were in California as immigrants. And my entire youth and adulthood was all in San Francisco.
Okay. So you guys met in the hospitality business, in the hotel business?
We did, yes. As a matter of fact, Mario trained me. He worked in the hotel business before. When I arrived, he was in charge of training all of the
newcomers,
employees. So I was one of them, and then I became his boss. And
she still is.
She still is.
38 years later, she's still my boss. So, Tanya, I was getting a professional PhD in toilet plunging, valet parking, paying my way through college, paying my dues for a very revolutionary real estate driven company called the Kimpton Hotel Group. Bill Kimpton was a phenomenal guy.
Okay. So Mexico. So how did that all of a sudden appear on your radar? Did you guys come down here for vacation, a honeymoon? How did that happen?
First, we came to San Miguel for Mario's 21st birthday, and we loved it. And then we came back again on my 40th birthday. I'm dating myself now, and just loved it, loved it, loved it. I loved it more than Mario. Mario was living the American dream at the time. He was like, I'm in the U.S. I don't want to go to Mexico. But then we came down here and just vacationing, living in Centro at the time. And at that point, we decided that we wanted to live in the country. So go for it.
So my version of that is I was on that wheel, like many of your listeners may be on the Americana wheel.
Yeah.
And working 9 days a week. I didn't even know Mexico existed. I was chasing corporate world. Mm-hmm. And Holly looks at me and she says, you know, you're Mexican and you don't even really speak Spanish. And we have a 7-year-old daughter. Let's get away. And I'm like, sure. This is 22 years ago in the infancy of dial-up internet. Holly rented a home on vacation rental by owner in this little town called San Miguel de Allende in the middle of the country. I came with Holly. Well, yes. I came to Mexico as a tourist I was thinking Mexico is tacos and beaches because I was caught up in the wheel.
Yeah.
Holly, 22 years later, I give her thanks because now she gifted me a country, culture, art, and warmth of people. We can dive into that later.
And not only to you, to our daughter as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, question, Holly. I mean, were you kind of sick of living in San Francisco? I mean, what? I mean,
I
Mexico
was.
is, yeah. So, yeah, tell me about that. I mean, you came down for your 40th birthday. You loved it. Prior to that, it was Mario's 21st birthday. So, at your 40th birthday, you come down. So, like, what happened? Like, what was the catalyst?
Yeah, what was the catalyst? Basically, I was tired of the rat race in the States, and I just said, we need to do something new. Our daughter, we had a 7-year-old daughter, wasn't really happy with the education system in California. I wanted her to be completely bilingual. She was starting to compete riding horses. Um, and I just said, we need to do something. This is not the way I want to live my life.
So earlier I mentioned that I was on that wheel. So the catalyst, paraphrasing what Holly said, is, as you know, most of the Americana, the United States always had this wonderful view that it was full of the middle class. Sadly, in this political arena, and even then, the middle class was disappearing, and we were in that middle part, disappearing. We found ourselves that we could do less with more work, and here we can do more with, we still have to work. So we came down here to enjoy culture, people, warmth, and Holly spotted that. And I was fighting it. We almost got a divorce over this. I said, I don't want to go to Mexico. Are you
It's so
kidding?
true.
I had the mentality from the news that I was going to be beheaded. 22 years later, I still have my head. We've never had a negative issue. If you, I mean, some of your listeners are buying into this media that you come to Mexico, you're going to be beheaded. And I literally, even though I'm Mexican, I refused to come to Mexico because I was on that wheel and I couldn't get off of it. And let me tell you, I breathe much nicer here in Mexico.
So, Mario, I mean, were you kind of caught up in the propaganda that you were seeing that you thought that all of Mexico, even though you're Mexican by birth, did you kind of feel like you fed into that propaganda where it's all kidnappings and cartels everywhere? Was that your
Right.
fear?
So, yeah, so, I mean, thinking that I was the head of the household, if you will, if you want to call it that way. I was concerned about where my family would be at the time. Holly, here's this Americana, blonde, blue-eyed chick in Mexico, and I'm thinking, ¿qué estamos haciendo? What are we doing? And so, to a degree, yes, let's admit it. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the media. That, yes, it sometimes feeds us this narrative, and we were very concerned about that, only to find out, look, right now, speed forward 22 years later, in our home where we live here in the middle of Mexico, we have multicultural people. Our daughter speaks more than 2 languages, okay? We don't even lock our doors to our home. Our cars are parked with the keys in the ignition here where we live on the ranch, of course. So it's just a wonderful experience, and there has never been any crime. Now, crime of opportunity exists anywhere in the world.
Sure.
It exists right in front of the White House.
Yeah.
Okay, it exists. So we've been fortunate here. This part of Mexico has wonderful people, and so thank you.
So, Holly, did you have those fears and concerns as well?
For some reason, my interests overrode those fears. I just was like, no, we're going to go for this. We're going to change our lifestyle. And so I was the pusher. I wanted to make it happen for our daughter. And actually for us as well. I thought it was a really good idea. So we sold our postage stamp lot in San Mateo, California, brought the money down here.
And a full pickup. We looked like the Beverly Hills
We really did.
in the pickup.
We
and we
really
had a
did.
bloodhound to boot with
Oh,
us.
we did? Oh my God.
We drove down with our
I
dog.
just thought about that.
Yeah.
We really were the
Canela was her name.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
So, what year did you guys make the move to San Miguel de Allende?
At the tail end of 2003. So we
Okay.
sold lock, stock, and barrel our home in San Mateo, like Holly just mentioned. We were coming just for a vacation, and Holly says we're moving to San Miguel. I'm Mexican. I said, what country is that in? And so, yes, 2003.
Well, you know what, guys? I moved to Vallarta in October 2003, so it was around the
Really?
Yes,
same
about
time.
when we
Yep.
came down.
In
I packed it
August,
up and I
We
came
did
down.
August. We did August. August.
July, August,
August.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, just before me. Your daughter was 7 years old when you guys moved to San
She was
Miguel?
7 years old. Meanwhile, I had done research on a wonderful Waldorf school that is
Mhm.
here and it's right around the corner. Our daughter, once we actually moved into this property that we purchased, we'll go into that a little later. She would ride her horse to school, and our wranglers would pick her up, and it was just like the amazing, the dream come true for a
So,
7 year old.
so for some of your listeners that may have children, as Holly mentioned, our daughter now would complain, say, "Dad, I never got to ride the yellow bus to school," and because she would ride a horse to school. But there's a Waldorf school here. So for your listeners that may have children, there's a Waldorf school. And for those that do not have children, there's so much volunteerism work that the expat community does,
Yeah.
and the NGOs. So
Totally.
there's the benefit from both sides of the equation. Whether you're still in the working area or you're a retired American, there's many outlets for you to be involved in.
Is the Waldorf School a private bilingual school?
Yes.
Okay.
I
All right.
believe the price here, I believe it is $400 a month versus
Like
in the States.
$16,000 in the States for a Waldorf school. It's $400 a month here. I mean,
Wow.
it's a no-brainer. And not only that, your children will be surrounded with international students that may
Yeah.
speak German, Italian, French. I'm sorry, Taniel. So far, I don't know of anyone that speaks Lebanese, but or Arabic.
Arabic, yes.
Yeah, Arabic. Yes.
Wow.
Pardon
So
me.
when you guys decide to move down here, did you get any pushback from family and friends back at home? What do they say?
Definitely. My mom was so concerned. My whole family was super concerned. But
So was I.
went, yeah, you were too. But I just went straight forward, straight ahead.
Most of our friends
Not
thought,
turning back.
"What happened to your wife, Holly?" And I used to joke, "My wife left me for a country," and so everyone was incredulous. They couldn't believe that we sold our home, our asset, and just packed up the truck and drove down without knowing a single person. We moved to Mexico without knowing anyone, and I had never lived in Mexico, neither did Holly or myself. We just bit the bullet and went for it.
And Mario, I mean, your entire family moved to the States. So did you have any relatives in Mexico when you went there?
Zero relatives in this particular area where we came to. I was born in a neighboring state, which is neighbors Jalisco, where Puerto Vallarta's at. I was
Yep.
born in Michoacan, but all my nuclear family were all in the Los Angeles area. I have a brother who's a CPA, a brother who's a business owner. My whole family was like, "What has happened to Mario? Está loco."
Well, so share with me, you guys made a decision to move. People think you're crazy doing it. So now it comes time to sell, pack things up, banking, healthcare. I mean, those are all concerns. So how did you guys navigate through all of that? And what kind of doubts and challenges did you have from the point of making the decision and then finally crossing the border? Like, what are all the things you guys went through?
I'd like to take that one, Holly, because
Yeah, sure.
I was in charge of paying the bills at the time, and Holly was had the most difficult challenge raising our daughter. So,
And building the ranch.
healthcare is an example. Okay, through my company, I ended up paying for a continued healthcare system that maybe your listener will be familiar with. Cobra. After you have a job, you pay Cobra, and it goes for 1 year. So we paid 22 years ago, close to $1,628 for healthcare for my family. We continue to pay that, never using the services because, truthfully, healthcare in Mexico is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can't tell you, after all these years, how many people now come to our ranch, stay for a week, a month, or 6 months, and get complete dental care because it's a fraction of the cost in the US. So it's out of pocket paying it. It's incredible. So the healthcare is one of those issues that were amazing. I ended up giving up our healthcare in the States. We have a house doctor that comes to our home who speaks English and Spanish, medically trained. And we've actually had the head of radiology come with their gadget. We're not living in the Stone Age, and do a radiology in our house. And it's like $150.
And labs. We had laboratories to come that take our blood if we, to test do our testing.
So from the mundane issues like that, healthcare is great. The other expenses, banking, whatnot, we were able to luckily jump on the bandwagon of online banking. And as you know, with the click of your fingertips, I mean, back then, online banking was in its infancy. It didn't hit till a couple years later. But today, let's be honest, with Wi-Fi communication, you can be anywhere in the world. So from that aspect, in the beginning, 22 years ago, that was really rough. I felt like I had to Velcro a walkie-talkie to Holly's waist so I can communicate with her, because she went off in the boondocks. And but the challenges in the beginning were communication 22 years ago. Today, there's no problem. I mean, we have Starlink, if you don't support Elon Musk, but we have Starlink on our ranch. We have quick communication. We're communicating now. And so you can do banking, we have a guest that works here, and his office is in the States, and he's in banking. So those challenges of kind of, with modern technology, has moved. Now, one of the things that we really enjoy, the challenge, from the Monday things of grocery shopping, like, how am I going to get my groceries? Your listener will say, well, I'm used to this. We have one of the best grocery stores in the world. The world is big, called City Market, here in San Miguel de Allende. It's part of a chain grocery store in Mexico, but the best grocery store in the entire country for Mexico is in our little town called San Miguel de Allende. The produce, the vegetables, everything is fresh. Some of your listeners love mangoes. Come taste the mangoes over here.
And it's not related to the city markets that are in Colorado, because everyone's saying, Colorado, is that related to City Market, Colorado? No, it competes with Whole Foods.
Way better.
Yeah.
One more thing about the challenges as the mundane that your listeners may be caught up with. We would highly recommend that you learn Spanish. If you're going to be in the country, do your best. And,
just try.
Immersing yourself with, maybe in this country, you can still have assistants, domestic staff, a gardener, a driver, someone that works in your home, housekeeping, cleaning. These are your people. These are the common people that you can bond with, and you learn the true Mexico. And that's how you can immerse yourself. So the language is critical.
They're our extended family, as a matter of fact. Our workers that work with us, they're our extended family.
They've been with us 22 years, 18 years.
Very low turnover rate.
So let's talk about that, about your employees. So you guys moved in 2003. So you're renting a house, correct, for a while?
We first rented, yes. Rented.
And then did you buy a house, or what did you do?
I'll take that, and then I'll do very brief, and Holly can go the next. So initially we thought we were going to do an exercise of a 6 months vacation. Get it out of your system, Holly. It's your 40th midlife crisis. I'm still on the wheel. I was commuting, by the way. I commuted for 19 years. I recently pulled the plug out of the US. I was commuting this whole time. So we first rented a place for 6 months, and Holly says, I found this piece of property, raw land, dirt, barren land that we bought.
Without any water, any electricity.
Nada. So our employees, was that the question? I'm sorry.
So did you guys have a real estate agent you're working with, or did you find this on your own, Holly?
No, we found it on our own, through friends.
I mean, we didn't have this type of service that you're providing to your listeners. Taniel, I have to take a moment to say how wonderful a program you're doing to just disseminate factual information that's raw, that's real, that's authentic.
So true.
We are not, AI generated beings, and we walk the walk. We came here without knowing anyone. We rented. Yes, that's for some of because of our pocketbook. We talked about the medium household. We had a budget, and that budget was, hey, we're going to rent for 6 months. We'll put our finger in the water. But guess what? The water was amazing and inviting.
So then it was up, I'm guessing Holly's the one who kind of took the reins and said, I'm going to look at real estate, right, Holly?
Exactly. Through the Waldorf School, we met some people. They were trying to buy the land, but it was actually a Mexican family. They were trying to buy the land, but it was the way that they went about it. They weren't able to purchase the land. Then I told Mario, I said, Mario, you have to get involved here. We're in the golden quarter. This piece of property is in the golden quarter of San Miguel. We're 10 minutes away. This is just going to explode. We're surrounded by estates everywhere. And so Mario went and met this gentleman, this older gentleman.
I think that what Holly's alluding to is respect. I mean, you cannot, for your listeners, you cannot
Yes.
come here with your PhD, you're better than the neighbor. It was respect.
Yes.
So some other entity had tried to buy this property, and we went about it with, we were like, what can we do? Do we have some common ground? And in my case, there was some common ground. I spoke Spanish, although to your listeners, I spoke Spanglish, okay? My own daughter, our own daughter said, Dad, your Spanish is horrible. I said, yes, honey, I've been living in California. I picked up the slang, and I've gotten better at that. But respect is key. And if you're warm to people, you will find that generally people, and maybe we believe in Santa Claus still, but I believe in the goodness of people. And this was very pivotal. And yes, we had an economic position. We had cash. Okay, cash is king in real estate, still in Mexico. So for most of your listeners, you have to identify your budget at what you want and what is your risk level of tolerance, which is what I think you're getting at.
So, Holly, describe to me what this piece of property looked like and how big
It
was
was
this
a
land?
cornfield. It had been probably for 20 years. It had been worked, and then it was then abandoned because the gentleman that we purchased it from, he wasn't able to work it anymore, and his children didn't want to work it. So it was just raw land with I would say probably 20 mesquite trees on it, and
The location?
yeah, the location was so close to San Miguel. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is just amazing, Mario. You have to come and see this. You have to come and see this. So he came down on a plane.
So two things. I came down and I'm walking on this barren piece of property with only 30 trees. I'm looking around and said to Holly, honey, where's the property? And like, this is it. I'm like, what? A barren cornfield, but it was the location. And Holly has an ability to identify location, which is the key for real estate. The location is ideal. So it's about 35 acres of raw land, about 10 minutes from town. Ideal, but you're in the middle of country, in the middle of nature. We have eagles that fly over our property. So the property was wonderful. At that time, I had a BlackBerry, I could still go like this with the fingers, and had a BlackBerry communication. And all over the country, my BlackBerry didn't work. As soon as I walked on the property, went ping. I got a ping. I'm like, a sign from God. I have internet. So I was standing on a rock, and almost like not quite the cactus, but a rock, just sending emails to the States to my work. So I said, if I can get internet communication here, we're doing this. So that helped.
So, what did you guys wind up building there?
Well, we first started with one large home and with stables. And then as income started coming in through Mario's work at the time, I was not in real estate yet.
Yeah, you were only for yourself.
Okay. But yes, it was barren, but we were putting every cent that we had that was coming in from Mario's pocket at the moment.
From the States. He's working in the States.
Yes, he's still working in the States. He's going back and forth. And I'm here with our daughter and home base. And so everybody.
So, Holly, so let me get this right. So Mario's working, he's sending the money down to you, and you're using the money to build on your property. Okay.
Instead of going out to dinner, we would buy sacks of cement, sand, rebar, bricks, and mortars. And it worked for us. And so because our budget was so much limited, so we had to do that ourselves. Yeah. And as a process, the experience of buying and building to barrel down, Holly was able to work closely with the workers, the workmen, the masonry guys, the carpenters, and this fed her to learn Spanish.
So this is how I learned Spanish.
She's fluent right now in Spanish. The
But,
experience of building in Mexico was phenomenal.
It was really cool.
If you are there and you are watching it, it's like, you know, being in the kitchen. You're cooking, you're baking, you're watching the temperature. We were able to do that. Holly was, in this case. So if you have a partner in your relationship that one can help out, this is how we divided and conquered. We haven't conquered yet, but
No,
and we're not divided. And we're not divided.
So Holly, so share with me that experience. You don't speak any Spanish, and here you are. Now you're building what, a ranch, right? So
It was a huge risk. I mean, it was a big risk that we took at the time, but for some reason, I just had this know-how or dream that I wanted
Confidence.
to.
You had the confidence in yourself.
And that it would all happen and all fall into place. And guess what? It did. So yes, we had no water. We had to put in a well. We had to put in electricity.
4 blocks of electricity had to
Transformers,
come in to get electricity to the ranch. The equivalent of 4 blocks. So the property was 35 acres.
And around 35 workers at the time, right?
Yeah. It was like hold on for dear life, but it was wonderful. It was a rewarding experience.
It really was.
Because we actually were able to see the fruit of what we were doing. So real estate, if you treat real estate well, that is, you give it proper maintenance, care, like fixing up a property, it'll give you back dividends over time. And we were fortunate in that. And again, it goes back to the one word, respect. Respect the people,
And the
respect the
nature.
culture and nature. If you blend those, the recipe's pretty good. It's not that difficult as long as you pay attention to what you're doing. I think your listeners will find that they can do it themselves. If we did it, you can.
So the homes that we've built here on the ranch, we would build them around trees so that we wouldn't tear down any of the mesquite trees, the huizaches, the nopales. So we would keep those, whereas a lot of people would just tear them down to get a big bulldozer. We didn't do that. That's the soul of the ranch. To me, that's the soul of this ranch, are the trees, the animals.
El alma.
La
So-
alma, yeah.
So are you selling these houses, or I mean, is this the business model you guys have? So what exactly is this ranch all about?
So Rancho Sol Dorado by Querencia. So 22 years ago, when we bought the property, we built one house, and then it was such a wonderful experience to work and construct in Mexico that we started duplicating. Like, hey, we can do another pancake. We can do another pancake. I'll have another quesadilla. So we kept investing in that. Before we knew it, we were now a property that had countryside, horses, villas that people could come and escape to. So we've been
We were a
pioneers.
destination.
We were a destination. We were pioneers, and then that people, and we were helping people say, "Hey, come stay, check this out." So as a result of doing this for 20 years, we now hit the reset button, and we partner up with the folks that develop in Los Cabos, Mexico, Querencia. So we partner up with a wonderful family from Aspen, Colorado, and now the ranch is bringing real estate to market. So through Holly, be naturally, organically moved into real estate and helping other people find a home, or hey, you can do this. We grew the ranch from 35 acres to approximately 170 acres, of which will now bring 47 lots to market, 1.25 acre lots, so that we are now sharing what we've done. We've been stewards of the land, taking care of the land. Now we're offering people an opportunity to buy and have their own dream home if they want to build a home. Only now they come into an area where there's water, electricity to their lot, and we can help them do that.
So what does the average lot go for, and how much would it cost to build let's
So
say?
we are unique in that we are offering high luxury in our area, Taniel. And luxury is defined in the following: privacy coupled with safety. The amenities that we're bringing in a spa and wellness center where people can do yoga, Pilates, they can do tennis.
We will be offering massages and hot and
Pickleball, we
cold
won't do the
plunge.
massages.
Yeah, no.
There's a spa.
No.
There's a spa and wellness center that you could do that. There's tennis, pickleball,
Pickleball, paddleball.
a formal restaurant, and the coolest thing, whether you ride a horse or not, is you can go on a walking trail. We're building over 20 miles of walking trails that'll go throughout this private, beautiful area. And we have a website that, if you allow us, we'll share with your viewers.
Yes.
So walking trails, hiking trails. So if you love nature, we have the space for you at only 10 minutes from town. And to specific to your question, the price points, 1.25 acre lots will go to market at around $750,000 for a lot that you can have your own deed and you can build your own dream home, or we can build it for you.
Okay. And how many lots did you say you guys have?
There will be 47 lots to start with.
Okay. And actually, I went to your website just the other day, and I got to tell you, it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
It looks like it's a place where you can go and decompress and connect with nature.
That's
And
what
I
we're
was just
all
kind of,
about.
I was just kind of blown away. And you guys have done that in like what, 22 years? Just
Yeah,
organically,
but
it's been growing over time.
see,
Or
Taniel,
21 years?
but truthfully, Taniel, it's the team that we have. It's the team. Anybody who thinks they can do it alone, and which is specifically why you're here right now, Taniel, it's a team, it's a community, helping people get to that point, if that's your flavor. Now, I know that you're in Puerto Vallarta, and some of your viewers may be looking for that beautiful palm tree beachside home, and I'm sure you would offer that. In our case, we're in the middle of the country, and so we have a unique space, San Miguel de Allende, in the state of Guanajuato, Mexico. Thank you for mentioning that you went on our website, but it truly is, we have a great marketing team, and we have a great people that work with us, and we have nothing but the best team leaders, and that's been brought over by our new business partner that we launched, and we've been quietly working for the last 2.5 years with the new partnership with the people that built in Los Cabos, Querencia, which is a premier private luxury golf course community. We're not doing golf in our ranch. It's a equestrian ranch and countryside escape.
Over the years, San Miguel has become more and more popular. And actually, I have clients here in Vallarta who have a second home in San Miguel. So they
Really?
Yeah, they go there, especially during the summer months when it's really hot and humid in Vallarta. They go to San Miguel to cool off, and then they come back during the winters.
Yeah,
So
Send them our way.
Puerto Vallarta is a great feeder market for us.
yeah, no, seriously, a lot of people from here have a place in San Miguel, or they go there to visit frequently if they don't own a place there.
Can you
So-
publicly, I'm putting it out there right now, and it's on video. Come and stay with us. Come visit us.
Yeah.
I would love to. So over the years, as San Miguel's got more popular and there are more Americans and Canadians moving in, how has the dynamics of the community changed? Like, what are you seeing over there?
I have seen, and it's amazing, our NGOs. We have Amigos de Animales, which is a sterilization clinic for dogs and cats, is huge. We have Feed the Hungry, which is another one for all the communities. There's kitchens that are going up for all the rural communities. And the dynamics are amazing. I mean, San Miguel lives on tourism, correct? And also, the extranjeros, they come, they want to help the communities so much. And there's Patronatos Pro Niños. There's so many NGOs that would love assistance and are welcome.
What are MGOs?
Nonprofit organizations. I'm
No,
sorry.
NPOs. Okay.
Yeah. So to play on what you just said, Holly, the dynamics between the foreign community and the locals, it's a great symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
With one ingredient necessary for your viewers to not forget, and we mentioned earlier, respeto, respect. Yeah. As long as there's respect, the relationship goes. We bring in, some of your viewers may bring in a big bag of cash, US dollars, into the economy. You're infusing cash. But cash doesn't just get thrown around, it gets respected. And when you come into a new area and you keep light of that, and some people sometimes say, hey, we're guests in this country. Well, so act like a guest in someone's home. But the relationship is bonded. And one of the ways you can bond is what Holly just mentioned, some of the philanthropic volunteer organizations that she mentioned. But you can also do that by just connecting with the people. And that can be from working with your gardener, alongside with your gardener or your driver. These are the great symbiotic relationships that are formed.
Because the people that live here have skills that we don't have, and we have skills that we can give to them as well. So, as Mario was saying, yep, symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Holly, real estate. Earlier on, you
Yes.
mentioned in real estate in San Miguel. So tell me, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market right now? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing right now it's more of a buyer's market. There's a lot of inventory right now. So I would say it's more of a buyer's market.
Great time to come and buy.
Yes. And I've been in real estate now for, gosh, I think 15 years here in San Miguel. I started with Sotheby's International Realty. I was there for 13 years and then was headhunted by Engel and Volkers, which is an amazing brand. And so now I'm with them. I'm part of private office. I'm a private office advisor. There's 18,000 agents worldwide, and I'm one of 300 agents that
Reached private office
that reached private office
status.
and I'm part of the chairman's circle as well. So
Holly gets it done. So if
Well,
we can get
she's wearing a lot of hats and getting things done. So that's great. Holly, I have a question for you. People want
Yes,
to
sir.
know what things cost, right? A lot of our clients, especially the retirees from states in Canada, they're living on a fixed income, and so they want to make their dollars stretch further. And so, if someone's looking at purchasing, let's say, a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house, um, about what price range can they anticipate in town, and maybe let's say 10, 15 minutes. I'm guessing in town it's going to be a lot more expensive because of the location. So what would
Right.
you say like a 2 or 3-bedroom house would cost on the average? I'm not going to hold you to it because I know it depends on what type of house, right? Modern,
Right.
old, new, all the amenities. But if you can just kind of give me a range for a 2 or 3-bedroom in town, and let's say if they go out about 10 or 15 minutes, and what do those numbers look like?
Say if you want to be in Centro Histórico, that's like right there with the churches and Parque Juarez. That's like the hot area. Anything from a million to 12 million, you can purchase a property there. If you go just right over you cross the street and you're in Colonia San Antonio, you can purchase a beautiful property for $500,000 for a 3 bedroom, 3.5 baths. And then if you go out of town, it depends on if you have water. If you don't have water, do you have city water? Do you have a well? So it can really fluctuate. I have listings that are for over 4 million. That's $4 million, and those, they have a well, they have a swimming pool, 3 bedroom, 3.5 baths, cottages. So it really depends, Taniel, but it varies quite a bit.
but
So
also
would you say that you can find something for about 400,000? It's not going to be in town, obviously, but maybe like a 20-minute drive. Do you think it's reasonable to find something around $400,000 for a 3-bedroom house?
for example, Holly, for the ones that are on the fixed income, I think like everything, there's a budget for every buyer out there.
Right.
For example, there's a development that's near us that caters to what you're just identifying.
Hacienda La Presita, or where?
Yeah, I'm not going to name all the developments, but I'm going to say that there's the developments near us. For example, they have assisted living facilities. So if you're approaching the
There
geriatric
you go.
area,
There you go.
area where you need some assistance, there are some developments nearby that are completely affordable. That in fact we've heard it over and over where they bring in a spouse or a partner Or maybe it's a husband and wife that are bringing their elderly parents to live with assisted 24-hour care, which is a fraction of the cost of U.S.
Oh,
healthcare system.
yeah.
There are those developments that you're addressing for fixed income people, and you can maybe find homes in the $300,000 range with all those
Little
types.
villas there, yeah.
Exactly, ground floor living. That is, 300,000. I'm not going to say bread and butter housing, but that kind of budget for that buyer. Holly focuses on the high luxury, but she also can
Yeah,
walk your
I can
buyers and your viewers to.
Puerto Vallarta is primarily a condominium market. Is San Miguel the same, or is it more of like freestanding homes?
Freestanding homes more. I mean, you do find some developments on the lower end that are condominiums, but yes, the high end are the homes.
Now, I have never lived in Puerto Vallarta, Taniel, but what to your effect to your statement about a condominium living, you have one magnet there. One magnet primarily is the beach, right? So people want to be up and see the beach and have a view. We are inland. San Miguel de Allende, for your viewers, we're inland. We're in the middle of the country. So, quite right, we're more freestanding homes. Our beach, in this case, would be the Centro Histórico. We have the historic town, which is the birth of Mexican independence, kind of like the Philadelphia, Boston of the United States.
So living in the country, I feel like it's the best of both worlds because you're able to go in when you want to be, but you're living outside.
Well, Puerto Vallarta, same thing. I mean, you could find properties for $300,000, a house inland for new construction in town, like a brand new condo with all the bells and whistles and all the amenities. Of course, the cost of construction has gone up considerably versus 20 years ago, and property values have gone up consistently over the last 20 years, like most parts of the world.
Yeah.
And you could find, villas for 12 million, 15, 20 million dollars, and you could find a villa for 1.2 million. But if you go further inland, you could find houses in the flats anywhere from like 300 to 700,000. So you've got that whole range, which is
Similar.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Is
have
that your
that.
community called Fluvial?
Yeah, Fluvial, very good. We have a condominium project in Fluvial. You could find a studio there, brand new condo building for around 200 plus thousand. You could find a
Yeah.
house, between $400,000 and $800,000, and even less if you go a little bit further out. And the nice thing about Vallarta is everything is fairly close. Within 15, 20-minute drive max, you're at the beach. So it's not a huge city like Los Angeles. I used to live in Pasadena, and it would take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic,
Gosh.
to get to Santa Monica Beach. And imagine driving another 2 hours back. So that's 4 hours of being stuck in traffic. You're not going to have that in Vallarta. So that's one of the beauties about living here. You can get to the beach real easily.
I really think your viewers should just look you up, call you up. You're a real estate broker. You know what to find them, the value and the budget that they're looking for if they want to be somewhere along the beach. And for your viewers, if they want something inland in the middle of the country, send them our way.
No, there you go. I didn't pay you to say that, by the way.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Just so our audience knows. But
I
thank you.
know.
Thanks for the plug.
Just
So
feeling
you guys, okay, so we're wrapping this up, I asked this question with a lot of expats that have moved to Mexico. There are so many people in the States and Canada that have dreamed of packing up and moving abroad. In our case, coming down to Mexico. But for one reason or another, like you said, your friends and family thought you're crazy coming down here. You've got the media propaganda that kind of distills this fear in them. What word of encouragement would you give someone who's sitting on the fence and thinking about making this move to Mexico, but haven't done it yet?
Well, simply, I would say, I know Mario will be more intricate with his words, but I would just say go for it, like I did. Those would be my 3 words.
I would say to your viewers, if you're on the fence and you're dreaming about doing this move, this adventure, hello, this is the real life. It's not a rehearsal. You only get one shot at this. This is not a dress rehearsal.
So true.
Go out and follow your dream.
Yeah.
Explore. And by the way, we have airplanes. You can fly back if it doesn't work out for you. So I would say use the tools like Taniel's putting out there. Use professionals. We were fortunate. We went on our own. Use professionals like
Yeah.
Taniel that are out there and know the market that could guide you, definitely. So use a professional for that. Live your dream. It's not a dress rehearsal. Go for it, as Holly says.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, 22 years later, definitely go with a real estate agent versus just doing it on yourself by yourselves. It's complicated.
And this has been the best financial decision we have made in our lifetime. We traded Bay Area real estate for the middle of Mexico, and it's far surpassed our wildest expectations.
Yeah, we can't
Both
even.
in real culture, life, food, love, and warmth, all bundled in one.
Yeah, we have great
Spelled
restaurants
Mexico.
here. Yeah, we have great
Well,
restaurants here as well.
Oh, I know. I was in San Miguel de Allende for Easter week, Semana Santa, a few years ago. And granted, it was not a good time to go because it was like a can of sardines in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I was able to sneak into a restaurant. I didn't have to wait 2 hours, and the food was incredible. You guys
Yeah.
have
See.
incredible restaurants there, and shopping as well. A lot of great furniture
You do.
stores.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so very much. This is a lot of wonderful information, and thank you for closing out the way you did, Holly and Mario. Thank you very much. And you know what? Can you share with us your website for your ranch? So if people want to get in touch with you, they can kind of click and check it out.
Yes, it is Rancho Sol
Sol-
Dorado.com.
That's a
Oh
good
my
one.
gosh.
Yeah. Again, you can find us on the website, Rancho Sol Dorado, and we'd love to hear from you. And thank you.
Thank you, guys. And you know what? I am going to go back to San Miguel, I think probably in about 6 months or so. So when I do, I definitely want to check out your ranch.
Oh my gosh.
Por
please
favor,
do.
vengan a vernos.
Sí.
Guys, thank you so
Adios.
much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Your retirement in Mexico starts right here, and we're excited to be part of your journey. Every episode, we bring you the magic of Mexico, insider tips, and expert advice to help you take that next big step with confidence. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It helps others like you discover the endless possibilities waiting south of the border. Got a topic you'd like for us to cover? We'd love to hear from you. Send your suggestions to info@TanielChemsian.com. And remember, a life well lived isn't left to chance. It's created with intention. See you next time.